Every morning, the same thing happens. Your alarm goes off. You drag yourself out of bed. And while everyone else is craving coffee and toast, you feel nothing. No hunger. Sometimes even nausea at the thought of food. You've probably heard your entire life. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But here's what they don't tell you. That phrase was invented by cereal companies to sell more product. It was marketing, not science. You've wondered if something's wrong with you. You've tried forcing yourself to eat. It never works. But what if this isn't a problem to fix? What if your brain and body are actually functioning exactly as they should, just differently than the breakfast-obsessed culture around you expects? Welcome to Food and Psychology. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who hate breakfast. Let's start with what most people don't understand. Morning appetite is controlled by your circadian rhythm and cortisol levels. When you wake up, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone that helps you become alert. For most people, this cortisol spike actually suppresses appetite for the first 1 to 3 hours after waking. This is completely normal. But here's where it gets interesting. Some people have a more pronounced cortisol response. If you're someone who wakes up with high cortisol, the idea of putting food in your stomach can feel physically nauseating. Your body is in alert mode, not digest mode. There's also something called delayed morning hunger. Your digestive system has been in rest mode all night. For some people, it takes longer to wake up than others. Forcing food into a digestive system that isn't ready can cause nausea, bloating, or discomfort, which creates a negative association with breakfast over time. Then there's ghrelin, your hunger hormone. Ghrelin levels are actually at their lowest in the morning for many people. If your body isn't producing the hunger signal, eating feels forced and unnatural. So if you've ever been told you just need to train yourself to eat breakfast, that's ignoring your actual biology. Beyond biology, there's a sensory component that breakfast haters experience intensely. Most breakfast foods have very specific textures and flavor profiles that are polarizing. For instance, eggs are slimy, sulfuric, rubbery when overcooked. The smell alone can be overwhelming in the morning when your senses are heightened. Milk and cereal are cold, mushy, and the milk gets warm and sickly as the cereal soaks. Oatmeal is gluey, thick, sometimes slimy depending on preparation. Pancakes and syrup are sticky, overly sweet, heavy. Orange juice are acidic, overwhelming for a sensitive stomach. Here's the key. Your senses are actually more sensitive in the morning. Your taste buds haven't been dulled by other flavors yet. Your sense of smell is sharper. That's why breakfast foods that other people find mild or comforting can feel assaulting to you. And most breakfast foods are either aggressively sweet or aggressively savory. There's rarely a middle ground. If you don't want sugar-bombed French toast or greasy bacon first thing in the morning, your options narrow dramatically. Let's talk about the social baggage that comes with hating breakfast. You've heard it all your life. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You need to eat breakfast to jumpstart your metabolism. Skipping breakfast will make you gain weight. You'll never focus without breakfast. But here's the reality. The idea that breakfast is the most important meal was literally created by cereal companies in the early 1900s. Kellogg's and other brands ran massive marketing campaigns just to sell their products. It was brilliant advertising, not science. Modern research shows that meal timing matters far less than your overall nutrition quality and listening to your body's natural hunger cues. Some studies even suggest intermittent fasting, which often means skipping breakfast, can have health benefits for certain people. But because of a century of cultural programming, if you don't eat breakfast, people assume you're lazy, unhealthy, or that you just don't care about yourself. They think you're doing something wrong. This creates so much guilt and shame around a completely natural biological preference. You might even end up forcing yourself to eat when you're not hungry, which just creates even more negative feelings about food and meal times. For some breakfast haters, there's also a deep psychological layer. Many people who dislike breakfast were forced to eat it as children. Maybe you had a parent who wouldn't let you leave the table until your plate was clean. Maybe you were made to drink milk that made you feel sick. Or perhaps you were always rushed through breakfast before school, and it became linked with stress and anxiety. When eating becomes about control rather than nourishment, it can create lasting aversions. There's also the association between breakfast and morning routines people hate: waking up early, rushing to get to work or school, and starting a stressful day. Breakfast gets tangled up with all these negative emotions instead of being a source of pleasure. So if you hate breakfast, you're not broken. You're not lazy. And you're definitely not doing anything wrong. Your body might genuinely just not be ready to eat in the morning. Your senses could be more sensitive to the textures and flavors of typical breakfast foods. And you've been culturally conditioned to feel guilty about a perfectly normal biological variation. The healthiest thing you can do? Listen to your body. Eat when you're actually hungry, and completely ignore the judgment. Thanks for watching Food in Psychology. Subscribe if you want more explanations for why you eat the way you do.